Hello, hello, this is Gina and welcome to my channel. Look at what I have for you today. These are so cute. They're little boxes and you can decorate them however you want. See, they open up like this. You can even make some that have a lid and a window. Isn't that too cute? This is just in time for Valentine's Day, so I thought this would be a good video. Now, I got this stamp over a month ago, probably almost 2 months ago, and I got it from, let's see, Inky Antics Cling Mount Stamp. It's Square Box Template is the name of the stamp, but that's not actually where I got it. Oh, and I wrote it down. I believe I got it at Scrapbooking Made Simple. It was a YouTube channel I was watching, and oh, bless her heart, I can't think of her name, but she showed this on a video, and I thought, oh man, that's awesome. So I thought it would just be so handy to put a little box together, put some candies in, or some kind of little treat, and just to hand out to people, just as a little thank you, or just thinking of you kind of gift. So anyway, it was great for teachers, that kind of thing. So I wanted to do a video to show you how to use this stamp, but I changed my mind. Instead, I'm going to show you how to make a box so that you can make one any size that you want. Because I was, I made all these, but I was limited to this size. So even when I was trying to decorate them and I was going through my stash, I'd find something that was so cute, but it was just a little bit too big, or so I was like, gosh, it'd be nice to be able to have a different size box. Plus, what if what you're trying to give someone is bigger than that? Or maybe it's much smaller than that and kind of gets lost in this box. So I thought it would be a much better idea to give you the information that you need so that you can make a box to fit whatever it is that you need, whatever size you want. So that's my goal today. It's simple, it's easy, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So stick with me. You ready? Let's go. Here's an example. Here's one. This is one I made with the stamp. And this is one that I made on my own. You don't have to make just a square either. This formula is going to help you no matter what shape your box is. It doesn't have to be just a square. So here is the formula. Now I did base the formula from my stamp. I took a look at it and just came up, measured and then kind of came up with the dimensions, and it works on any size box. So here's what you do. This stamp, here it is, I stamped it out, and I measured. Well, first let me just tell you about the stamp. I will try to link the stamp in case you do want the stamp, because, I mean, it is pretty, it is cool. It has its drawbacks, which I'll tell you in a little bit, but it is pretty easy and you don't have to do any measuring. All the solid lines is where you would cut, and then all of the dashed lines is where you fold, okay? So the solid lines I cut all the way out, and then the dashed lines are where you fold. So one piece makes half of your box, okay? It's going to make half of your box like this. So you'll need another piece which you'll turn around and flip upside down and fold in to make your whole box. But here's what I did. So the edges that make the side, okay, were 3/4 of an inch. All right. So that's 1 1/4 inch altogether. The part that makes the lid, there's two parts. There's a part, there's the part that covers, that kind of acts as a side, right? Which is 3/4 of an inch, just like the others. But you also have to have this little piece that you tuck in, right? And this is a 1/2 inch. So you can take measurements and add them to whatever size box that you want. However, this is how wide your object can be. It can be 3/4 of an inch. But you may have something that's thicker than that. So all you would have to do is measure the thickness Okay, so that's how thick your side would be, and you'll have two of them, right? So you would add them together and then add them to the total amount of what your object is. I'm going to show you, we'll do one together, but I'm going to show you it doesn't have to be just a square. So I just got this today at the dollar store. This will be perfect because it's not a square, right? So we will use this little pad as our example. Okay. So first I need to figure out what size is the object that I need my box for. So let's measure. Okay. See how it's not quite, oh, hold on. See how it's not quite 3? You will see that I will round, and I will round up, obviously, so that the object fits in the box. So I'm going to call that 3 inches. Okay? And I'll show you in a little diagram. Here is my little notepad. So it's 3 inches across. And let's see. Okay, and we will call that 5 inches. So it's 5 inches long. Now, how wide is it? Let's see. A 1/2 inch. I know I may go just a hair bigger than a 1/2 inch just to make sure it does fit inside. Okay, so the thickness is a 1/2 inch. So for my box, okay, I'm going to need a 1/2 inch on this side and a 1/2 inch on this side. So when I cut my paper, it's 3 inches wide. Okay, so I already know I need 3 inches wide. Plus, I'm going to need 1 inch to account for my sides. 4. So I know I need to cut my paper 4 inches wide. Okay, now for the height. This piece doesn't have the bottom. See how this has both sides? So you have to do a 1/2 inch plus a 1/2 inch. This only has one side, but it does have 2 pieces. Okay, so it has the part that covers the width, but it also has the little piece that you tuck in. So you're still going to do a 1/2 inch for the width plus a 1/2 inch for the tuck equals 1 inch. So we said that it's 5 inches long, so we know we need 5 inches plus the 1 inch, that equals 6. So I need to cut my paper 4 by 6. So I'll need 2 pieces of paper cut 4 by 6. Okay, and I'm going to go do that now, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and here is my paper. I have 2 pieces of paper cut at 4 by 6. Now we need to score. So I wrote down and drew another little picture so you can see where we're going to score. So I'm going to score down the sides at a 1/2 inch, and then on one side I'll score at a 1/2 inch, and then add another 1/2 inch to the 1 inch mark and score again for the lid. All right, so let's do that now. We're going to score at long ways, right? Because this is how it's going to go in. So we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Okay. Here we go. Going to flip it over and score at a 1/2 inch on this side. All right. Now we'll make this the top, and I'll score at a 1/2 inch. That's for the tuck. And then I will score at an inch, which is just adding another 1/2 inch. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the other one. So now, let's go ahead and burnish these folds really well. Okay, oops. Where is it? And this is just a piece of paper I'm using for one of the kits, one of the My Creative Scrapbook kits that I got a few months ago. I just thought it was pretty. And it's pretty thick cardstock. So I did most of the ones you see with cardstock at 80 pounds or 110 pound. So it was pretty heavy. I did do one of them though in pretty thin paper. I just wanted to see if it would work. It does. I mean, it's, you know, obviously not super sturdy, but it, you know, it did hold together. You have to be careful, you know, when you're scoring, because it was so thin, I kind of scored all the way through it. It may just, you know, actually kind of cut into the paper a little bit, but I used a little bit of glue and just kind of put it together, but it did, you know, it did work, but just be careful on scoring, and same with your burnishing if your paper is really thin, so be mindful of that. Okay. We have both of our sides made, both of our pieces made. Now as you can see, we're not quite done because there are some other parts we have to actually cut out. And then we have to just make a slit here, right, so that our tab will fold in. This very top corner we're going to cut out on both sides. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this one. Try to do better. You know, the light is really bright. I have a really bright light overhead, but I tell you, sometimes I still struggle to see over here. I guess it's a shadow, maybe, the way I end up cutting. When I'm editing, I usually brighten up the picture really well so that you're able to see better than I can. So you're probably looking at the video going, what, the light looks fine. But yeah, in real time, I'm struggling. So we got the edges cut. Now you can see on this one, the outside edge for the flap is at an angle. And I remember thinking, well gosh, I wonder how I figure out the angle. And what this is so like not scientific, but here's what I ended up doing. You want to put it right on the line, and where the paper, let me go close, hits the top of my cuticle. See the paper hit the top of my cuticle? That's where I cut. Isn't that crazy? I know, makes no sense, but that seemed to be about the right angle, so go figure. All right, so I put it right where it needs to, right at the side, okay? And then I push the paper till it hits the top of my cuticle, and I cut. And there you go. So I'm just going to cut straight down to there. Like, all right. So there, see, now we have a flap. Woohoo! So we have our flap, and we have our lid. Very good. All right, let's do the other one. Now we have our two pieces that are ready to go. We just have to glue them together. Your front piece is going to fold at the bottom, and your back piece is going to fold in toward the top. Okay? So the lid is your back piece. The front that gets glued down on the sides and the bottom is your front piece. You need to glue this flap to this side. And here's a little hint. It's best if you glue the top piece over. instead of having this piece come up here, because you see, even when you glue it down, it kind of leaves a little seam, and it's fine. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it will look much prettier if it's nice and smooth on top. So you want this piece to overlap the bottom. Okay, so it's going to be glued like this. Okay. It suggests on the instructions to use just double-sided tape, and that probably would be the best thing. But for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to use a little tape runner. And so I'm going to use this because it's just a little faster. Okay, so this is going to go over. So I'm going to glue down this side, not my little flap, okay? But just, oops, just this side. Okay. Goodness. Okay. There. Now, it's going to adhere like this. So let me turn it sideways so you can see. You just want to make sure you don't adhere it to where your flaps are. Okay, you're only adhering just the little straight piece. Okay, so it's going to go like this. Roughly like that. Okay. Let's see, did I do that straight? So I need to try to line that up just a little bit better. Oops, okay. That's not perfect, but it's getting to where it's kind of hard to peel off, so we're going to leave it. Okay. Again, this is your front, and so you want it to roll over and be glued down around the back like this. I'm going to put some adhesive on the inside of this one. And again, I'm going to flip it around because I do better. I'm a right-handed person, so not my flap. So I'm going to put my finger over my flap. Okay. All right. Okay. So now this one's going to wrap around, and we're going to glue just the sides together like this. Okay. There we go. Okay. You also, if you look at this, you see how the little part that tucks in, that also has a little bit of an angle to it. I don't do the whole nail thing. I just take just a little bit off. I don't measure, but I also just take very little off. If it doesn't tuck in, you can always take a little bit more off, but so so start small, and you can always adjust if it doesn't tuck in. Okay. Let's see if that's enough. There we go. Now, all right. Now, I usually glue the bottom because, as you can see, like it's just easiest to glue it. And for that, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here. Okay. We'll see if this works. Stick that in. Okay, there we go. Oops. All right. Okay, I'm going to reach down in here and just try to press it down just a little bit to ensure that it's stuck. Okay, there we go. Now I need to take a little bit off this side. That might not have been enough. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, when you don't take very much off the side, it really helps the top to stay down and not pop up, which is great, because the bottom, it doesn't matter, because if you're like me, you're going to adhere it anyway. But for the top, you want them to be able to open it, so you would like a nice tight fit. All right, so there we go. We've made a box. Now, let's see if my item fits in it. Let's see. The width is a little, oh, look. There, oh no, it didn't fit. Okay, so what did I do wrong? Clearly I messed up my measurement. 6. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I wonder if that hit the lid or hit the, because I'm thinking that should work. I know that's how I did the other one. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I'm like, I had to think about that. I was like, no, that should work. Now, what it did was it hit the flap in here and it made it stop. So it made it look like it was a ½ inch too short. But yeah, so I was able to get it down in there. And now we tuck in our flaps. And we tuck in the lid. And there we go. There's our box. Isn't that so cute? Now, if you want to add a lid, let me show you. Where is it? Yeah. All you're going to do is adhere one side, and then the top's going to close. So you don't need that other side, and you don't need the lid. So you cut another piece of paper that's 5 inches by 3.5. This is going to be the main part, so this is where I'm going to fold it over. So I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. Okay. So we're going to fold that down. Hold on, Bendy. God, I hope my husband doesn't come home. She goes nuts. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's our front. And what we would do is we would glue it on the side, like this. Over here, like, okay, oops. Okay, like so. Okay, and there we go. Now you've got your little lid. Now, this template comes where you can make a little cutout, and make a little window, and maybe put a piece of acetate, which is what I did for here. Okay, which is really cute. You can have something peeking out, especially if you have candy or something else that's really cute. Of course, as you see, you don't have to. You can make just a box, or you can make just a box with a little lid. Maybe you just want to put a little piece of paper and jot a little note down in there. But if you want to make a window and you've made your own specialty size box, then I would just make a template. See, this is the actual size of the window, is the dotted line, but you'll need to back it up maybe 1/2 inch, and then you'll cut the line, you'll cut out the center, you'll cut the lines, and then you'll fold it over and glue those down, and that makes your window. And then you would put your piece of acetate over it. Okay. But anyway, so that is what you need to know to make whatever size box you want to make. I hope that was clear. If it wasn't, please let me know, and I will do my best to clarify anything that may be a little fuzzy. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see the boxes you make. Please share and show me, because I mean, you know, it's a blank slate. You can add and decorate it however you want. And so I'm thrilled to be able to see what you all are able to make. But that's going to be it. And if you liked this video and found it informative, then give me the thumbs up. And definitely share with your crafty friends or somebody you think might benefit from it. And check out my channel and subscribe if you see things that you like that might interest you. That's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.